September 2022. The world was stunned by the tragic death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who died under mysterious circumstances in police custody after being detained for allegedly violating Iran's hijab laws. Her death ignited outrage across Iran. A wave of swift public protests spread, with women defiantly removing and burning their headscarves, cutting their hair, and boldly confronting and fighting against the forces of the authorities. People from all walks of life, nurses, doctors, students, actors, and workers, took to the streets, united in their demand for justice. It was a collective cry against not just the brutality of her death, but the oppressive system that led to it. As the protests grew, so did the government's oppression. Demonstrators faced violence, arrests, and death. The streets became battlegrounds where the quest for justice met brutal force. The movement was not a fight against the hijab itself, but against its compulsory nature. Women who wore the hijab stood side by side with those who didn't, all demanding the right to choose. In the midst of this turmoil, a young singer, Shervin Hajipur, composed a song that captured the heart of the movement. By gathering messages from ordinary people on social media, his song, Baraye, echoed their hopes, thoughts, and feelings, turning personal stories into a powerful anthem for freedom. The song received worldwide acclaim and was sung in global protests for Iran on October 1st, 2022, in approximately 150 cities around the world. Artists like rappers used their voices to echo people's problems. Their music became a form of resistance, amplifying the message of the protests from within the walls of confinement. Celebrities, including actresses and athletes, bravely defied dress codes, using their platforms to challenge the status quo. Their acts of defiance became symbols of a broader rebellion against oppressive regulations. Families of the fallen, mourning their loved ones, became steadfast advocates for justice. Despite facing imprisonment and further persecution, they continued to protest, their grief transforming into a powerful demand for accountability. Many faced horrific violence, including those shot in the eyes during protests. These images became a stark reminder of the brutality faced by ordinary people standing up for their rights. Even schoolgirls were not spared. Some were poisoned, others were imprisoned. Their courage highlighted the regime's attempts to silence the youngest voices of dissent. Global solidarity surged. From New York to Berlin, people rallied in support using social media to amplify the voices of those fighting for freedom and equality in Iran. The movement gained international attention, becoming a symbol of resistance against oppression. In February 2023, 20 independent Iranian trade unions, feminist groups, and student organizations issued a 12-point manifesto. It articulated and elaborated on the meaning of the slogan, "Woman, Life, Freedom," seeking an end to oppression, discrimination, tyranny, and dictatorship. This is not just a story of resistance. It is a testament to the power of unity and the enduring hope for change. This is a new story of humanity. These struggles travel, they are translated and interpreted, and create a cycle. One day or another, this regime will fall, and Iranian women will still be there, free to take charge of their land. This journey is far from over. As Narges Mohammadi explains, we will not give up on justice and freedom. We will not surrender love, femininity, and motherhood to the hands of monstrous religious despotism. We will live, we will kiss the sun, and fill the world with vitality and hope. We will win.
for dancing in the alleys and the streets, for the thrill and the fear of getting caught kissing, for my sister, my brother, and unity, for all the times we tried to change their minds and stale beliefs, for the loss of pride, for poverty, for the dream of just a normal life for you and me, for all the children who are starving for a loaf of bread, for the greed of politics and all the lies they spread, for all the mass polluted air we breathe, for all the litter in the streets and all the dying trees, for all the animals who suffer from elimination, for all the cats and dogs who love us without no conditions, for all the tears that seem to never end, for all the images that keep on turning in our heads, for a simple smile to last a little while, for the future generations fighting for their time, for empty promises of heaven in the afterlife, for all the imprisonment of beautiful minds, for all the babies who were born and for the ones who died, for all the times you told the truth and all the times you lied, for all the speeches that we heard about a million times, for all the shacks and shelters that were sold to make a dime for just a glimpse of a peaceful life, for the rising of the sun after an endless night, for all the pills we pop just to get some sleep, for all mankind in our country, for all the boys and girls who never knew equality, for woman, for life, liberty, for liberty, for liberty, for liberty.